Welcome to MSP Unscripted. I'm Nawazali with Rubrik. Today we're talking about MSPs are building more repeatable cyber resilience services. I'm joined by Alvaro Gonzalez, SVP at Assured Data Protection. Alvaro, great to have you.
Hey, thanks, Nawaz. I'm so happy to be here.
Let's jump in. How are customers' expectations changing when it comes to cyber resilience?
Customers are getting a lot more sophisticated about understanding the kinds of challenges that they're facing. A year ago, I think a lot of people thought that the cyber resilience was a matter of mostly the prevention side, their XDR, MDR stuff, and then backups were something that they could just kind of take for granted. Now, I think they're realizing that there are sort of two clocks that they need to deal with in facing cyber resilience threats because they're the ones where dwell time, although it's really come down, it's really still a thing. And then there are the new, really fast moving threats that can get into an environment and go and delete backups and make a lot of trouble in a short period of time. They're understanding that prevention isn't everything. Having the capabilities that Rubrik brings, including super importantly, the ability to find, clean quickly to restore, is hugely important. It's great news for the customers, and it's great news for us, for them to understand the problem better, and that lets us help them solve it better.
Why is it important for MSPs to move from one-off projects to more repeatable services?
Because you get better at the things that you do consistently. So if you do a bunch of snowflakes, a bunch of one-off projects, you will improve, but you won't improve at the same rate that you will when you can apply the lessons that you learn from each time to a consistent process. You refine the process and everything gets better. If you're not following a process, that's really hard. Like you cost yourself and you cost the customer that opportunity to benefit from accumulating experience, I'd say.
So that's a good point. So when you productize cyber resilience,
Yeah.
what has to be clearly defined?
A couple of things, actually. The first is for everyone to have a really clear-eyed vision of what are specifically the threats that I'm hedging against. If you don't have a good idea about what are the risks that I'm going to keep at bay and what they really mean in practice, it's hard to have answers, solutions, right, to those challenges that are really dialed in. So that's something that's really important to, get things off on the right foot to begin with. If you can't see the problems clearly, you can't solve the problems quickly.
Great point there, Alvaro. So if you're recovering from a compromised environment, how should MSPs think about clean recovery?
Well, so, we are extremely invested in the Rubrik capabilities to take something that, in our opinion, none of the competing platforms can really offer, the ability to so much more quickly find and be able to eliminate indicators of compromise in the backups, right? The way that Rubrik does it allows people to move massively faster than alternative platforms. That's just something that's so crucially important. It's one thing to be able to restore, but it's another thing to know what to restore so that you start in the right place. And that's something that is an enormous difference maker.
So for MSPs just starting out, what's one practical step they can take right now?
The practical step, I would say, is actually, as you're starting out, especially in this, to have a clear idea of the kinds of capabilities that you have, but then to ask a lot of questions to the people that you're speaking with as your prospects and your customers to make sure that the way that you are thinking about it is really aligned with the way that they are thinking about it. Because if you have an excellent system that from the customer perspective is a little out of focus, it's not a good place to be. We as MSPs are great at being experts at what we do, but it's also important for us to be experts in listening to the real world experience of the people who live in the systems that we are going to protect for them. So it's kind of like the ratio, two ears, one mouth, so that you know that what you're doing is dialed in to what's specific about the kinds of workloads, the kinds of processes that people are living in and we are going to protect for them.
Alvaro, I appreciate your perspective. Thanks for joining us. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you in the next episode of MSP Unscripted. Thank you.
Thank you.